Hi friends, this is your pal Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about the 7 levels of tabletop role-playing games. And today we're going to talk about the 3rd level, which is Journeyman. This list is based off the 7 levels of Rap, which is a video you can watch right here on YouTube by Dupley, and the 7 levels of Fantasy, which is another great video you can watch right here on YouTube. You will find it right over on Daniel Green's Fantasy Commentary channel. Both excellent lists, and as soon as I saw them, I'm like, oh, I can do this for tabletop role-playing games. So let's look at the Journeyman level. So level 3 of tabletop role-playing game is Journeyman level, is when tabletop role-playing games get good. So first of all, I should say right now, the first 2 levels you should never bother playing. They're not useful, they're not good, they don't really add anything to the hobby, right? To actually, I don't really consider tabletop role-playing games a hobby. I don't think they add anything to the activity, to the sphere of activity that surrounds tabletop role-playing games. But at level 3, this is where you can be, okay, I can spend some time on this. There's something useful here. There's something significant to experience. And so Journeyman is where tabletop role-playing games begin to get good. It's the first level of good tabletop role-playing games. And the game that most exemplifies level 3, Journeyman level, is Shadow Dark by Kelsey DeYoung. So this thing's about 5 years old now, and it is really fascinating. So first of all, there's a lot of good things about it. Let's talk about the good things about it. One, I absolutely love the shape of the book. It's essentially like, think of a paperback novel, okay, that you would buy off the shelf at Barnes and Noble. Now make that hardback and make it about a third longer, right? So it's a nice, chunky, hefty size. It's hardback. It's and I love that. I love games that go with a different size than Dungeons and Dragons. I also really love tabletop role-playing games that are a little bit more portable. This is extremely portable, extremely comfortable to hold, to use, to read. That's another thing. It is brilliantly typecast, right? Like, it's very easy to read. The information isn't jammed onto every page. It's a comfortable read. Okay. All right. So what is Shadow Dark? So Shadow Dark is a very simple, elegant redux of Dungeons and Dragons. Scott, there's a million of those. That's true. There are a million of those. So why does Shadow Dark make a list where only 7 games are on the list, right? That's a good question. And only 5 of them are good, right? So why does Shadow Dark? And the reason why is what Shadow Dark accomplished, which is really wild. So lots of tabletop role-playing game creators come in and they're like, I'm going to make a tabletop role-playing game. It's going to be good. It's going to be compelling. It's going to be useful it's going to provide a good experience, right? And Kelsey didn't do that. I think what she did was she changed something that no other tabletop role-playing game creator in the world has ever changed since that fateful Thursday, February 7th, 1974, when Gary Gygax set Dungeons and Dragons into motion. The first day 1 of release of Dungeons and Dragons, Thursday, February 7th, 1974, right? Gary Gygax showed the world, this is what a tabletop role-playing game is, and this is how you make your tabletop role-playing game the most successful tabletop role-playing game in the world. And what Gary showed was you work hard and you sacrifice everything. And you give to the tabletop role-playing game community, and then they make you the #1 game in the world, right? Well, the problem with that is the price that Gary Gygax paid personally to make Dungeons and Dragons immortal, essentially. We're going to have it for 300 to 3. I think D&D will last between 300 years to 3 millennia. So it's not immortal, but it's darn close. It's about as close as you can get on this broken earth, right? And so, but the price he paid personally, right? He lost so much. The sacrifices he made to make tabletop role-playing games, to make D&D the #1 tabletop role-playing game in the world, to make it unforgettable, was catastrophic personally. He lost control of the game. There were definitely impacts to his personal life, deep impacts to his personal life, and it was bad. Like, the amount he sacrificed was very, very bad. Kelsey Dion comes in and she's like, what if you could make a good tabletop role-playing game that gave thousands and thousands of people a good experience, but it didn't impact you personally. You did it without sacrifice. In fact, you did it with incredible comfort and even profit, right? And so Kelsey Dion has really sacrificed nothing to create Shadow Dark. She spends her days, literally to this day, being invited as guest of honor to tons and tons of tabletop role-playing game conventions. Wherever she goes, she arrives. People dote on her. She's a rock star. She's an absolute rock star. And she has created a way to make a tabletop role-playing game successful and profitable and prominent without catastrophic personal sacrifices. Nobody has ever done that. And frankly, I think Kelsey Dion has done a better job of making the experience of creating tabletop role-playing games personally comfortable more than any other creator. And she is a model to follow to do that. Now, it's not easy what she did. Some of the things she did were a little bit questionable. One of the things I think was probably a mistake was she cut a lot of FLGSs out. She only selected a few friendly local game shops. She chose to cut out Amazon, and what lots of people do. That's not that unusual. People hating Amazon is not unusual at all. But people like saying, I'm not even going to send all the FLGSs, that had never been done before. Saying, I'm going to make very personal, completely non-scalable relationships with very specific FLGSs, and the rest of the FLGSs can go kick rocks. That had never been done before. And it made it very rare to find. And there was almost like a punk rock mystique around it, and it was really interesting. The other thing that she showed is she's a very charming person, right? And then charm is part of it. And I think Gary was not. He was an abrasive person. He was very arrogant, right? And so she showed that if you can be charming and bring a really unique distribution model, or make certain things about your game unique, you can make the experience of being a tabletop role-playing game creator very, very comfortable. And no one like Kelsey Dion has ever shown this to be possible. So she showed it's possible to succeed. It's possible to have your game be prominent and still have a good personal life, which is pretty incredible, right? And really unique. And that's why I believe that that Shadow Dark is the #1 example of the Journeyman level 3 of the 7 levels of tabletop role-playing games. Every single word you just heard in this video is my humble opinion. Nothing more, nothing less. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.